Hello, good morning. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Louise and this is Louise's Lifestyle. Thank you for joining me. So it's Monday the 26th of June and this morning I received this package, parcel from Bangladesh. The courier is Fedex and it was posted a few days ago and I was sent a message to say it was arriving. So Fedex Bangladesh. And hopefully nothing's damaged inside. I am expecting certain things in this package, so there'll be a few items in here. So what I'll do is I'll pause the camera and I will carefully open it because I don't want to bore you with me ripping off tape and trying to struggle to open it. So be back in a sec. Right, so managed to get most of the tape off and it's been packaged using the old shoe box, and in here let's see what we've got. So my husband's niece, who we stayed with in Bangladesh last year when we went on holiday there, has sent me this gift. There's a few things in here. Some things might interest certain people and some things might not. So I'll take the wrapping off. Oops, Daisy. Got something there. Nice pair of earrings. Oh right, something, not sure what that is. Put that down for a minute. More jewellery. More jewellery. Of postcards, and there's something underneath. Just take the paper to one side, just put that paper. Take that off. More paper. Just scrape back this paper. And we have some branches or stems of certain trees that are growing in my husband's late brother-in-law, whom we stayed at his property last year in Bangladesh, and it was his daughter that's living there. She has sent me this gift, and these are branches from some of the fruit trees that were on the rooftop garden. So I'm going to lift them out, and they're not labelled. Oops, a daisy. They're not labelled, but I have a good idea what trees she has sent these from. So I'm going to unwrap one. I'll just pause the camera. You just need to move some of this stuff out of the way, and then I'll try and do it as carefully as possible. Right, so unpackaged one of the stems, and it was well packaged, and this is like moist or wet tissue paper, and these stems have been in a jar of water for a few weeks now, since she cut them off the main tree. She was busy obviously with doing other things, so she she kept them in a jar of water, covered, and just before they were due to send out, she's wrapped them with this wet tissue and cellophane wrap. And this, I believe, is a red guava. I'm just going to take this tissue off. It's very well packaged, and there's no damage to any of these, hopefully. And what my job will be now is to get these to root. And I have a little water tank with a little bubbling stone, and I will be putting them in there. So she sealed it with wax, which is another thing I advised her to do to stop it from drying out. So I'll just carefully remove some of that wax, but I can do that a bit later. Right, so I've taken all the wrapping and the tissue, the cling film and the wax, scraped off the wax, and I've managed to identify, yes, these are definitely jam rule, Syzygium Saramagense, I think they're called. I had a quick conversation with my husband's niece, and I looked through all the messages. Actually, she did send me a picture of what she was sending when she did the cutting, so I'll put that picture up there. So it shows the red guava and the jam rule cuttings. And one of the jam rule cuttings, let me just show you, I can get it out. It's actually got a root on it and a little green shoot there as well. And how do I know that this is jam rule? Is that all the jam rule cuttings have got like green, where I've sort of scraped at the bark. I've not scraped too much on that because I didn't want to damage that root there, but where I've scraped the bark, it's definitely green around the base where the wax was. And with the red Malaysian guava, so there's six of these, and there's 4 of the red guava. So the red guava don't have any green in them, and I scraped the bark, and underneath it starts off like a purpley red, and then it goes to this sort of a yellowy colour. So definitely not green. Not sure if it'll pick up on the camera. That one there. That's got like a beetrooty colour to it. It probably won't show very well on the camera, but there's 4 of the red guava. You've got like a purpley tinge to them, which is what the red guava have got, like a purpley red colour to the leaves anyway, and the fruit. So the stems actually have it underneath. So on the surface it looks very just like a normal brownish blackish bark, but underneath there's no green. It's all either purpley red or sort of a yellowy colour. So I will get these into their final stations, and what I might do is put a little bit of rooting hormone. They might not need it, but I use this rooting hormone, like a gel. I'll just, well, it's liquidy. I've had it a while, so it might have turned to liquid, but just take the top off. Yeah, it's a little sort of a jelly-like substance, and just dip them in, and I'll leave these out of water just so that the rooting hormone can sink in, and then I'll transfer them to the water tank. So hopefully the rooting hormone will sort of get absorbed. Just a little bit on each at the bottom. You can use different rooting homers, but I think the gel is better. You could use powder, but that would be if you were rooting it straight into a tub of soil, you know, or compost. And that's what you do. You dip it in the powder hormone first and then put them in the pot. But I'm using the gel today, so just rinse that off a little bit. Well, it doesn't matter, it can stay on. And I'll get these transferred now to the bubbler. Right, so I've got them in the final position in my little water tank with the bubbler in there, and some have got more space than others. What I've done is with the red guava, I let them have their own space because I think they're going to be the hardest to get them rooted. Having seen the jam rule has already started to root, you know, just being a couple of weeks in water, but I think that's the wisest thing to do. So I've given them all their own space. There's only 4 of them, and the jam rule, I've sort of put 3 in each, including the one that's already got roots on in here, and it's got a little bubbler in there. I might get a more powerful bubbler, but we'll just see. It's just in there, little bits of brown in there that have just come off the little sponge, the little root riot cells. I'm using those to wedge them in because the little pots that you get with these tanks, it's too narrow. The opening's just too narrow for these. So that's the setup, and what I'm going to do is cover with this polythene just to give it some extra humidity, because that's what my husband's niece did. She had in a glass of water and covered them with polythene just to give them keep the moisture in and create more humidity. And in here it's nice and warm, and they've got access to the grow light. So there we have it, my little surprise parcel from Fedex, and wish me luck with all these cuttings, the jam rule, Syzygium Sarmagense, and the Syzygium red guava. Thanks very much for watching, everyone. Take care. Bye bye.